everybody, it's Nate and Sergio here again. We're doing a little bonus video for you. We've been in, it's taken us way too long to get our Civil War review video finished because we decided to be a little bit more ambitious with it, and thanks to weird timing and illness and kind of life in general getting in the way, because we both have day jobs and things that we have to take care of, we haven't been able to get it done, and it's already been several weeks since Civil War came out. But now we've had a couple of, one big thing kind of thrown our way that has kind of soured everything for us as we're trying to get our dang video finished. In case you've been hiding under a rock, Marvel has now relaunched the Captain America title. They brought Steve Rogers back as Captain America because he had, stepped down from the mantle for a little while and had Sam Wilson take it. But Steve has come back, and they're making a big deal about the fact that they're relaunching the comic with Steve, and then guess what happens at the end? It has been revealed that Steve Rogers is, in fact, a Hydra agent.
And they're making
but it's not that he's been he's a Hydra agent. This is a recent development. He's always been a Hydra agent.
And the internet's pissed. I mean, furious. And there's a good reason why. I mean, how do you trash 75 years of great storytelling and comic book reading for something so stupid? You can't do that. Not to mention that the creators were Jewish. So that means
Joe Simon and Jack Kirby.
This goes back to
because it's by making Cap a Hydra agent, you have essentially made him a Nazi. That's essentially what you've done. Hydra is run by the Red Skull in the comics now. You've made Cap a Nazi.
Everything that he stood for has gone they just threw it out the shitter and said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try this out, see how the fans react.
This is so incredibly stupid. Even if this is just a gimmick, this is a terrible gimmick. This is an awful gimmick.
It's probably the worst. I can't think of anything else that
the only thing I can think of that comes even remotely close to this level of stupidity is One More Day with Spider-Man about 10 years ago. But here's the difference. Yeah, One More Day was a character assassination for Spider-Man. It really was. I don't care what any of you out there say, it was a character assassination. It was one of the worst comic book stories ever produced. But at least with that, I could tell myself, I'm not reading any Spider-Man comics after One More Day. I don't care how good people say they are, I'm not reading anything after that. I can read the stuff before it, and aside from, just individual storylines being bad or whatever, which is normal with comics, I can still read the good stuff from before, and it's okay. This has retroactively tainted everything in the Captain America canon outside of, any alternate universe stories with Cap or the Ultimate Universe.
I'm not a big, first of all, I'm not even a big Marvel reader. I'm mainly DC, and it's because of shit like this, man.
DC's got its fair share of mistakes.
Yeah, but I'm scared to pick up a Marvel comic, a modern. I don't mind picking up a trade paperback every now and then of the old stuff, but right now, on the current run, I can't trust anything that they put out right now. And this proves my fucking point. I just can't. I can't. I'm afraid of, just lame bullshit like this happening. It's just proves my point.
I just don't understand how this even makes sense. This would we were trying to think of what would be some equivalents to this. This would be like somebody making. I'm sure. I was telling you. I think something like this had kind of been done in a comic, but I never finished the entire series. This would be like making a Transformers story where it turns out Optimus Prime was secretly a Decepticon the entire time. Or making a Superman story where he was, secretly a minion of Lex Luthor the entire time. Or was secretly General Zod or something. I know there's an alternate universe take on Superman where he was the son of Zod, but that's an alternate universe. It was an Elseworld story. Or it would be like putting Guile in Street Fighter V, and then Capcom says, hey, guess what? He's one of the new 4 kings of Shadowloo, and he's actually a Shadowloo agent. He's been a Shadowloo agent the entire time.
He's a secret...
Hail Bison!
He's a secret 5th Shadowloo king.
Yeah, and he shows up. He shows up and says, "Hail Bison!"
It's just...
What is this BS?
I mean, I don't even know, like, if they're gonna try and like, maybe they'll say, hey, sorry, you guys, it's just a gimmick. But even if it is...
You know what I would settle for? I would settle for anything to get them out of this, even if it's a stupid way to do it, even if it's a cliche to do it. Like, you get to, like, issue 5 of this new comic, and it turns out that this was an evil clone. I would settle for a stupid evil clone story if it would get them out of this bull crap.
They're gonna have to... I mean, they're just gonna have to take this shit back. Someone's gonna... Either this... Was it Nick Spencer?
Nick Spencer.
Either Nick Spencer's gonna have to fix this shitload of fuck.
He is the...
hold on. Either he's gonna have to fix this bullshit, or someone else is gonna have to step up and pick up the shit that he took all over the fucking
back when I heard about One More Day, I was saying that I wanted to go to Marvel as a writer and tell them I wanted to write Spider-Man, and if they asked me why, I was going to say, so I can fix your mistake.
Oh, get in line.
And now I want to tell them, you're going to give me Captain America, and I'm going to fix the character assassination that you have done.
Yeah.
Okay, it was bad enough that you had Cap assassinated at the end of Civil War. This is a far worse assassination. This assassinates everything that the character stands for. It's to the point now where I have to look to the Chris Evans movie version as the definitive Captain America now.
Not only that, but, like, what are people going to think about him now? What are people going to think about the movie Captain America, knowing that the comics...
This is all connected. Not everyone is going to be like us and be able to separate the two. They're going to hear Captain America is actually a bad guy, and it's going to affect everything.
Because
people are not going to want to see the movies. People are not going to want to cosplay as Cap.
Because Chris Evans is playing Steve Rogers. So they're going to say, well, he's bad in the comic books. Does that make this guy the bad one too? Is he going to turn out against the team in Infinity War? What the fuck is Marvel going to do?
Well, at least with that, they could chalk that up to, like mind control through the gauntlet or something. It would be a one-time thing. It's not I've always been a bad guy.
Whatever.
This is so incredibly stupid. And if I want to read between the lines, which is what I've been doing, if you want to get philosophical about this, Nick Spencer is a guy, for what I'm hearing, is a political sort of guy. Very politically active. Does stuff on Capitol Hill and that sort of stuff, for what I've been reading. And I can tell you that, judging by this, that he's a flaming lib, and is one of those guys who is using Captain America as a mouthpiece for to make a political statement. He's not using him as a character. He's using him as just a bullhorn. And in this case, he's using him to do a critique of what he thinks is Donald Trump's stance on things, who he thinks Donald Trump is. And those are all misnomers. I'm not the biggest Trump fan either, but I know a misnomer when I see it. Not only that, but by saying that Captain America, Steve Rogers, who has always been representative of America the ideal, not necessarily America the nation, because that's one of the things that makes him compelling as a character, because he's a guy from the 40s with old-fashioned values who has been brought forward in time and is living in a much more cynical era while maintaining his moral fiber. So he doesn't represent the country as it is, but the country as it should and could be. But now you're saying that he's always been a bad guy. That is catering to this false narrative that's been getting perpetuated for at least 20 years, if not longer, that is trying to present the United States as being the worst nation on earth and having been the worst nation on earth by blowing up and exaggerating the mistakes that we've made as a country and ignoring all the great that we have done. And that pisses me off more than anything.
I don't know what's worse right now, I honestly would prefer Captain America just have a boyfriend.
At this point, I would prefer, actually, that they turn Cap gay instead of making him a Hydra agent. Barely, I'll admit, but I would almost prefer it. Actually, I would prefer. What am I talking about?
There you go. We just wanted to vent out on some of this shit because it's not right. It's not right, and
I would burn the comic, but as one person pointed out on Facebook, book burning is a Nazi thing. So don't be burning any books. Goes for you too, Linkara. Don't be burning this. You'll look like a Nazi.
it's just bullshit. But I don't know. We'll see how it pans out over the course of. I'm hoping not 4 or 5 months. I don't see this bullshit running that long. Someone's gonna have to step in and fix it. There's gonna be way too much backlash, and if it comes to a point where they don't fix it and they don't care, I could see a lot of Marvel fans just banning the book.
Yeah, they're not going to read the books. I almost don't want to read a Marvel comic again after this.
But that's the thing.
I don't even want to wear my costume again.
The thing is, though, that it's so controversial and it's pissing so many people off that it's going to make them want to read it. It's going to make some people want to read it. Why is this happening? Why is he all of a sudden a bad guy? You know?
And that's unfortunately is kind of my thing. I would like to read the comic just so I can get it from the horse's mouth, but at the same time I don't want to throw money at this.
The best thing that I can say is fuck this book. Don't waste your fucking time. There's plenty of other good reads. Either Marvel or DC. I mean, DC just had their Rebirth launch. I'd recommend that if you want to try something out.
Or go see Civil War and remind yourself of what Cap is supposed to be.
Just, in my opinion, all we can do is ignore it and let it be. Eventually.
Read between the lines, Marvel. Read between the lines. That's how pissed off you have made me.
It's just like a virus, you know. It's like a cold or a flu. And eventually, it's just gonna wear off. It's gonna go away.
You can only hope.
So, anyways,
see you later.
Peace out.
We'll do our best to get the video finished soon.